Right guys, hello again. Here today with another video for you. Today we're going to show you something slightly different. This is an M3 accessory case. Now, there is very little information about these that I've been able to find anywhere on the internet, and I don't know exactly what it's for myself, so I figured I can go through this review, show you what I've found and what I think it's for, and then you guys can come to your own conclusions. Maybe some of you will have some information I don't, which will be very helpful. Right, so basically the M3 accessory case is almost like a giant canvas suitcase. It's got a big leather strap at the top that's held together with two straps that run all the way around it, and then they simply go into a buckle here, but they run through reinforcements on the side there, on the bottom here, and on the handle itself, which means you can't actually undo them like you would think a generic strap. They are connected, which means you can't just use it to strap to vehicles anywhere you want or anything like that. And you undo it at the top here, get these out, and the whole bag, I'll bring it to there, opens up almost like a giant haversack. You see it's got quite a lot of height to it. So it opens up, and then inside the bag, we'll call it a bag, you have all these different straps, canvas straps in here. You've got pouches with little fasteners on them, which are clearly for specific things, which I don't have yet to be able to find out what they are. And it's a very unusual piece. It's, as you can see, pretty big. Way bigger than something like a haversack, and must be made for something pretty industrial. So I saw this at a little local military fair, and instantly I assumed it was for an M3 anti-tank gun. There's the problem with American nomenclature is there's all sorts of things called M3s. It could be the M3 half-track, it could be the M3 scout car, the M3 submachine gun, the M3 anti-tank gun. There's so many different things with the same nomenclature. So I had to start having a look on the internet and could find hardly any examples of this bag anywhere. Now I found a couple of old forum posts where people were talking about it, trying to figure out what it was. I posted on an M3 half-track page because I thought maybe that's some sort of tool bag for a half-track, and I found a couple of old auction sales. Now none of them really came with any useful information. Most people had decided that was for an M3 anti-tank gun, but without any real evidence. There was no photos or anything like that. It made the most sense to me for it to be for an M3 anti-tank gun, because some of the pockets inside do look like they'd be for pretty large tools and spare parts for an anti-tank gun, but there was no concrete evidence, and I have no instruction manuals. I haven't been able to find a TM manual for a 37mm anti-tank gun which might have this listed in it as one of its accessories. So there was nothing definitive, but most people decided it was for an anti-tank gun. And I found one old auction page, and that had a photo of the accessory case, same as this, nothing in it. I've never found a single photo of one with anything inside it at all, so I've got no idea what tools were put in it. But this one auction site had one, and the one they had gone to the auction with its original Cosmolined cardboard shipping box, the actual case itself. And the auction site said that on the side of the box, that basically said M3 accessory case for procurement for M3 anti-tank gun, or something along those lines, which is the only solid piece of evidence that I've really had that it is definitely for an anti-tank gun. So that's what I picked it up because I like the anti-tank guns and I was curious about it, but now I've got no use for it. That's a bit of a cumbersome piece of equipment. You can't really use it just as a bag. You can't really strap it to a Jeep, it's way too big, and the way the straps are done are just all over the place. But I thought it was an interesting piece of equipment to show you. So that's the information I found about it so far. I'm going to grab the camera, bring it down, and show you some of the closer details of it down here. Right guys, so here's the bag up close for you, so you can see the reinforcement points on the straps that hold it all together. Spin it round for you. You can see there's a lot of play in these, but you can't actually undo them because they're sewed in on the leather handle here. It's a very strange item. So you can pull the strap down like that, but that's as far as you go, so you wouldn't be able to use any of this excess to attach it to a vehicle or anything like that, which I find very unusual. Open it up now, you're a bit closer. So you can see on the inside flap here, you've got two pieces of canvas. You can see I can get my fingers through them. That's clearly for a tool of some sort to go through. I have no idea what, whether that could be, you know, spanners, wrenches, something like that. You've got a little pocket here, which has, well, it's not a pocket, it's just a flap with lifted dots on it. Well, not even lifted dots, they're just poppers. So that's obviously for something very specific, but again, absolutely no idea what. Move it. Open this side. That's just plain, nothing on that bit. You can see, if I do that, how that's clearly designed to have some thickness to it when it's fully loaded. So you've got an inside seam here, where you see that would fold over whatever was meant to be inside it. Then on the inside, you've got a tie down. You've got more reinforced loops where something was clearly meant to slot into there to be held into place. On this side, there's a strap. It can be undone. It's obviously meant to loop around something and then be tied down tight. Just do that back up. I don't want to do back up now. Then in the middle here you've got another big strap which must have held down something fairly sizable that took out most of the inside. You see that opens up the whole way and has got no end of play in it. So you'd be able to, so like I say, something pretty big. The main component of whatever was in this kit must have been held in there. And then you'd just tie it in like that. On this side here you've got another two little bags. Move it in here, you can see it a bit better. So they lift up, but these ones actually are like little compartments. So something went in there. That's about the same size as the compass pouch, that one. And this one here is exactly the same but wider. Not big enough for an optic though, I don't think. And then further down here you've got two more straps that obviously had something fairly sizable in them, which they then tied down. And leather reinforcements and pads spread along it, so I don't know if maybe something kind of slid in this square here and was strapped down by this strap here, and then on this side you just had all the smaller bits. I mean, this even looks like the sort of thing that would hold a gun barrel in, but that's not going to be a gun barrel for a 37mm. But it's got to be something that's completely tubular, otherwise you wouldn't be able to get through here. You'd never get a big say wrench or anything through there. Meant to do it back up. It's as simple as that. Put your these run under the reinforcements. That must have had some weight in it, some serious weight in it to need all of these canvas reinforcements, because the canvas webbing's not weak, so something pretty heavyweight must have been put in here. And then you're all back together. And that is the M3 accessory case. So I can say with some certainty that this is for an anti-tank gun, but it's certainly not 100%. It could easily be for something else. But I found no photos of these in use. One person had put up a photo of an anti-tank gun with a canvas bag on the floor with some tools on it next to it, but you couldn't tell if it was one of these because that was too far in the distance. You couldn't see any of the tools that were in it or anything like that. I'd be interested to see if anyone has access to the TM manual for a 37mm anti-tank gun, because this may well be listed in that as one of its accessories. Or if anyone has any idea what tools went in this, and certainly if anyone's got any photos of it, that'd be brilliant. I don't actually have a use for this in my collection anymore. I bought it as a curiosity. Chances of me having an anti-tank gun ever are basically zero, so I don't need it for that, even if it was one. So this is actually going in a trade with someone I know who've already organised it, but I wanted to do a video for you guys just covering it before it went, because it's a strange thing and I don't know really anything about it, and I assume that no one watching this video does either, but if you do, please share the information with me. I'll be quite happy to see that. So today's little video for you, something a bit different you probably don't see any day. I don't think there's any videos on these on YouTube so far, but I'll probably have this for a while yet before the trade goes ahead, so if anyone does have any information, please share that with me, and so I can look into it before I get rid of it. Alright, thanks a lot guys, I'll see you next time.